if we could begin by talking about the role of data today in policy intelligence, and if you could share some examples with us on how data has been used recently to design policy interventions. We were discussing a little while ago about how data on women empowerment and, declining participation of women in the workforce actually nudged certain policy interventions. If we could begin with some anecdotes to understand, how data is being used to drive policy in India.
So I think data-driven decision-making is something which is being emphasized increasingly. In fact, the Honorable Prime Minister during Civil Services Day this year, in April 25, mentioned that every civil servant should be focusing on data-driven decision-making. And just to give a few examples, for example, last year in the budget, the Honorable Finance Minister had announced focused interventions for creches for children and working women hostels. And that was a direct fallout of the labor market data. The female labor participation rate, by the way, has been increasing, but we are still below global levels. And that was one of the reasons that this intervention was introduced last year. Similarly, you had earlier when we were talking about the national education policy, looking at the out-of-school children and the focus on how to bring back out-of-school children either through formal means or through open schooling, and that's why the focus on that. More recently, skill development has been a major focus area because the annual survey of unincorporated sector enterprises showed that the skill levels of workers have been limited in terms of formal skill training. So that's informed a lot of the skill training work that is being done. So the focus is data-driven decision-making, and these are just a few examples.
Right, Dr. Garg, we've often spoken about how data is the new oil. In current times, one would say data is the new gold. We want to get a sense from you on how is MoSPI using Web 3.0 to collect data. Because in the past, questions have been raised around the quality of data that's coming out of India, and we know that personally you've been really driving that the quality of data, the granular capturing of data at the district level, at the grassroots level happens efficiently and effectively. If you could just take us through some of the initiatives that you've taken to ensure that Web 3.0 is implemented in data collection.
Yeah. So one thing I would like to say in terms of robustness and accuracy, that is something that we focus on, and the quality of the data is something that's extremely important. And that's one thing that I think the statistical system, the data that is being produced is of a very high quality. But at the same time, we need to move with the times, and therefore how to incorporate the latest technology in the system, that's a great focus. So for example, let's start with data collection. We don't do any pen and paper data collection. It's done through tablets, and it's the computer-aided personal interviewing, and it's directly uploaded onto the cloud. So, and in the cloud, we have validation mechanisms so that if there are any areas where observations are grossly seem to be out of sync with what's normally being, flags are raised, and it goes back to the enumerator within 24 to 48 hours so that the validation can be done.